it's Shida, and today I'm here to talk to you about my experience getting sick in Mexico and going to urgent care. So, if you were here about 2 weeks ago-ish, I did a video about health insurance and how to get it and what to do and the different types you should have as an expat. And then I got sick and I didn't have health insurance because I told you I have a plan, but I haven't put my plan in action yet, so I don't have insurance. So I woke up in the morning and I had a sore throat and a fever. And the next day I still had a sore throat and a fever. So I was like, let me tip on down, get a little COVID test. Normally, if I'm doing a COVID test because I'm like flying out and it's not a rush, the grocery delivery app here and the food delivery app has a service where you can get someone to come do a COVID test for you in your house. It's about $50. And I've done that a couple times when I was here and my mom was here. I went to a clinic this time. It was cheaper. It was about $37 for a rapid test and about, I can do math, 130 for a PCR test. And I did both just for my sanity because it wasn't like I was just testing because I was flying somewhere. I was testing because I really didn't feel good and I had no idea what else this could be. The lab I went to was called Chapo, that's C-H-O-P-O. They have a COVID testing clinic on Homero in Polanco. I think it's like 1901 Homero, and I'm saying that because they have two labs on the same street, but only one does COVID tests. Okay, one of the things to note about my experience there was that every single person I interacted with asked me which airline I was flying. Like before you get in, they want to know if you have an appointment, what you're here for, etc. Someone's taking your temperature, though she didn't take mine. I don't know why. They all asked me what airline I was flying on. So that let me know that people in town are not getting tested because they feel sick. They are only getting tested if they are flying somewhere. So do with that knowledge whatever you want. I was like, no, I feel sick. And they were like, oh, like every single time people were like, oh, like we don't get y'all in here taking tests because you don't feel good. We only get people who are taking tests because it's required. So I got the test done there. People always ask me if I was sick. They have hours where you don't need an appointment for COVID testing, and I think they started like 10 a.m. Tuesday through Saturday, and I was there at 9 a.m. But they didn't make me wait. They got me in anyway. It was fine. I had to do like a registration, which I had to do in Spanish. And then I went to the waiting room, waited for the test technician who spoke enough English to say like, how do you say lavos? Is that it? No. How do you say raise your head? He said that in Spanish and I knew what he was saying, so I could tell him. It was that like exchange of language that we did. So he knew how to say a bunch of things in English. He didn't know how to say raise your head, so I taught him how to do that. I got my rapid test on the spot. They told me the PCR test would take it would be before 9 a.m. or I think they said actually after 9 a.m. the next morning. I got it at like 8 p.m. that night. So it took about 12 hours for a PCR test to get to me. Negative rapid, negative PCR, so it wasn't that. And yet I didn't feel better. And the next day next day was Thursday, still had fever, sore throat was gone, but now I had stomach cramps. And Friday, stomach cramps, which turned into something that's worse than stomach cramps. So there was a lot of like laid in bed feeling like might not make it, and then getting up and having to rush to the bathroom. That was like my day. And I think the last time I really ate anything was like Wednesday. So all this time I'm not eating because I cannot eat. I just feel sick. So my options there were to go to a doctor. I don't have a doctor here. A lot of the doctors here do home visits, and so that would have been nice, but I don't have a doctor. I didn't want to call some stranger and be like, hey, can you come to my house? And so my goal now was to get a doctor that I can get to do home visits. So I figured urgent care was my best bet. And so I found a place with help from my local community, found a place called Tudoc, that's Tudoc. And I knew it was going to be fancy because the person who the referral came from, the person who's used it before, was pretty fancy. And me personally, I prefer rich people's healthcare. Like, you know how the healthcare system works in the US, right? Like, You get good health care or you get crap, and there's very little in the middle, right? Once I realized that for me, with the insurance I had through my jobs, I was going to pay the same copay if I went to rich people's healthcare or poor people's healthcare, and my deductible was the same, and dollars wise, it was all the same to me. Since then, I've very much been like, give me where the rich people are going. Take me there. Take me to where the rich people are going for healthcare. That's where I want to be. And if it's the same for you, I definitely recommend it. If your copays are X dollars, doesn't matter where you go to where the rich people go. I promise you. If your insurance if they'll take your insurance, go there. The service is so much better. So much. Okay, so I know where the rich people go for urgent care, at least one place. I go to Two Dock. There's nobody in there. There's no line. The Uber from my place takes about 5 minutes and costs $2.51. And so I go there. The receptionist speaks no English, but like I can maneuver healthcare in Spanish enough for her to say, like, I understand what she's asking me. Is this your first time? Yes. So now she hands me an iPad with like the first question is, what's your name? I can do this. I can give you my name, right? Like the basic things. And I got to the page where I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. And she was like, oh, don't worry about that. Like we mimed that enough of that out. Cool. I sat down for about maybe 5 minutes, and then a nurse took me back to our examination room. There was you know, the little exam beds. I sat on it, but it was like, I don't know how to explain how long it was. It was probably 4 feet long. And I was wondering if the exam beds are that way so that the examination rooms can be smaller and they can have more, or like, because I'm not tall, I'm 5'2". No matter what you think, sometimes people tell me like, oh, I thought you'd be tall when they meet me in real life. I am not a tall person, right? Like people say it all the time, like, oh, I thought you were gonna be much taller than you are. And I'm like, no, it's a lot of personality. I could not lay down on the hospital bed. Like my feet were hanging off, my head was kind of like propped up. Cool. But I got in there, she took my vitals, she left. Immediately a doctor came in, the doctor spoke English. The nurse spoke English as well. Gave the doctor like a basic medical history, told her what was going on, told her about something similar had happened to me before. She did some little tapping on my stomach to listen to my heart and my lungs, and then wrote me a prescription that I wanted for antibiotics because something very similar happened before. I had to go to the ER twice because urgent care wouldn't see me in the US because I'd had symptoms for too long. And so I walked across the street to the pharmacy. There was a little bit of back and forth with me and the pharmacy. I don't know if they're pharmacist or pharmacy tech. I don't know how that works there. You can tell I was like a beast when I came home. I just ripped it all open, didn't care about the proper opening of this. But this was the antibiotic that was prescribed for me. This is a box of 28. I was prescribed 16 pills. The next smallest box from this is 15 pills. So the lady was like, here's your box of 15. And I was like, no, but it says 2 pills 2 times a day for 4 days. That's 16. And she was like, but we have a box of 15. And I was like, well, what are we going to do? Because it's antibiotics. I need to take all the pills. Like if there's anything else you know about medicine, if there's nothing else, right? Like you've got to take the entire prescribed antibiotic dose. And she was like, take these 15 pills. I was like, I will not. Run me 16. But because of the way medicine is prescribed in Mexico, as far as I can tell, I've never been to a pharmacy where someone is in the back, like counting out pills. They have prepackaged boxes and you get what's in the box. Like, so I got the box of 28 and now I have 13. I have 12 extra because I was not going to take the box of 15. And she was so shocked, like, why are you being, it's very much a look of like, 15, 16, what's the difference? And I was like, I feel like I'm dying. I don't want to do this again. I'm exhausted. I'm weak. I haven't eaten in days. Just give me the effing 16 pills so I can go back home. And then I got like I think this one was supposed to take care of stomach pain and an anti-diarrheal, and then I also got some bottles of electrolyte, which is an electrolyte drink. I hadn't drunk it here before, but the coconut water one tastes just like coconut water. And my doctor told me I needed to drink some of those when I went home. So I did that. It worked out. Let me see. Notes. Okay. Yeah, it worked out really well. The time it took from leaving my door of my apartment and coming back to my door of my apartment, including the Uber ride, including urgent care, including the pharmacy, 61 minutes. I left my home. I went to the doctor's. I went to the pharmacy, and I came back in 61 minutes, including the car ride. 61 minutes. I love it here. I truly, y'all can't say shit to me about Mexico City. I truly love it here. Okay, costs. Urgent care visit was $39. That was seeing the doctor. She told me that if I wasn't feeling better in 2 or 3 days to come back, and my follow-up visit would be free, but I feel significantly better now, so I don't need to do that. The prescriptions and the electrolyte drink, I don't have it separated, were $65. So total of $100 for this bout of feeling gross and needing to see a doctor and getting medicine. It's probably what I would pay as a copay in the US, but I don't have insurance. This is all without insurance. This is all without appointments. This is all just showing up and being like, someone take care of me, please. I need it. And so when we talk about healthcare in foreign countries and it being cheaper, it's not just that it's cheaper, it's that it's easier, right? Like 61 minutes, door to door. That's not gonna happen. That has never happened in my life in the US, right? It has never happened that I've been able to go to an urgent care and not sit there waiting for at least an hour before someone sees me. Never happens. Another option for you, if you are in Mexico and get sick, my friend Roshida recently had another sore throat thing, different things. We haven't seen each other, so it wasn't like it was we didn't get it from each other. I haven't seen her, but I saw that she posted on IG about this, and I'll tag her in the description. She's another person who lives in Mexico City and talks about her life here. She had a sore throat thing. She thought it was strep, and so she went to the pharmacy. Now, here are the pharmacies. Most of the pharmacies, especially the bigger ones, have a doctor there. So you can go to the pharmacy. Last time I did this, I had to go in. There's like a separate door, the pharmacy I went to. There's like a doctor's office door, but it's attached. It's like the same building as a pharmacy. It's like a little attached thing, and then after you get done, you go to the pharmacy. So she went recently. She thought she was sick. She went to the pharmacy. She went to the doctor's at the pharmacy. The doctor saw her, wrote her a prescription, examined her, wrote her a prescription. She got the prescription filled. $15. So mine was $100 a day with like the bougie healthcare. She went straight to a pharmacy, took care of it all there. $15 to get examined by a real doctor, certified, everything, plaques on the walls and everything. $15 to get examined and to get the prescriptions. And then she's on her way home. Done. It's not just that it's cheaper, it's that it's easier, it's that there's less red tape. I don't have to get approved to go to a specialist. I need this done and it gets done, right? Like I told the doctor, this happened before, I took antibiotics and made it better. And she was like, tell you more about that. We talked about it. And she was like, okay, antibiotics. Like she's not going to argue with me about it. There are really, I haven't seen a doctor down here I didn't trust. There was never a time where I was like, I don't feel like you know what you're talking about. Never a time. It's very much been like, okay, I see it, I'm talking, they know what they're doing. I feel good about the experience, right? A lot of times in the US, Black women specifically, we go to doctors and we feel like they're not listening to us. I have never felt like that about a doctor here. Maybe it's because they have to work extra hard to understand me, because for a lot of us there is a language barrier, but I've never felt like I don't feel like you're rushing me through the appointment. I don't feel like you're not listening to me. I don't feel like you're dismissing me. I feel like you're listening to what I'm saying and trying to figure out the best course of action. And so I haven't had a lot of medical interactions here with medical professionals, but so far they've all been very, very good. Like the eye doctor I saw before, a specialist, excellent. Everyone I have seen here has been excellent and have taken care of me, and I felt taken care of. So I'm not recommending medical tourism. I'm not saying like you feel sick, fly to Mexico. What I'm saying is that do not hesitate. If you're here and you need something done, don't hesitate to go to urgent care, to go to a pharmacy and see a doctor, to see a doctor about something that you've been putting off in the States, if it's not going to be like a recurring thing. So for me, I'm going to try to get insurance soon, and I'm going to try to get all the doctors I need lined up. I need a gyno. I need a mammogram. It's about that time, y'all. So those are the things that are on my to-do list, and I'm very glad that I saw a doctor here, saw her quickly, saw her cheaply, and she was able to take care of my health crisis when I was in the US. I don't know if it's the same thing, but it very much started like the same thing, and it felt like the same thing as what was going on. 2 ER visits in 2 weeks. This one was 1 week, 1 urgent care visit, and it was gone. Also, I beg of you, do not go into the comments and tell me what not to eat while abroad, because this was not food poisoning. I've posted about this on Instagram, and even though I say it wasn't food poisoning, people are still telling me, oh, well, that's why I don't eat ice in Mexico. And I'm like, that's not Montezuma's revenge. I'm like, but that's not what happened here. It was something else. So thanks for watching. I will put some links to some more of my videos about life in Mexico around, so you can see what living in Mexico City is really like. It's a pretty awesome life. It is, and actually it is a pretty awesome life, and I love it here. I recommend it for everybody. So links to related videos, hopefully somewhere up here. And if not, they'll be down in the descriptions. If you haven't subscribed yet, press that subscribe button. Go ahead and get it. If you have questions about life in Mexico, you can click on the link for an Ask Me Anything session. I set up these sessions so people can come and ask me any questions they have about moving abroad. I recently got my residency in Mexico, so if you have questions about getting residency, about moving here, about living here full time, about what life in Mexico City is like, ask me those questions. Hit the Ask Me Anything link. I'll answer those questions for you when we sit down and we talk for an hour. All right? Bye. Have a great day. And until next time, I need a catchphrase. If you think of something, let me know. I need a catchphrase, don't I? I think I do. Until next time, adios.